to another video. If you're new here, welcome. I am so happy you're here. My name is Madison. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold, so if you hear a little sickness in my voice, it's been like a week and a half and I'm finally starting to get over it. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. I thought for today's video I could sit down and kind of just chat with you guys, talk to you guys about my big announcement. If you haven't watched my last video, go watch that one. I'll have that linked up top for you guys to go watch. I cannot believe the news is out. It's like feeling so real now. I am going to be a kindergarten teacher next year in just a few short months. I am so excited, and I know a lot of you guys had questions in the comments and submitted a ton of questions over on Instagram, and I do Q&As on Instagram all the time, but I thought I would do a little Q&A on YouTube as well, since I haven't done one of those in forever on here. So I have to get ready for work anyway this morning. I thought let's just go ahead and do a little Q&A while I get ready for work this morning, and it'll be more just like a chatty Q&A. I'm just going to go through all the questions that I've gotten and just answer them like lightning round, answer all your guys' questions, and yeah, let's just get into it. Before we dive into the makeup, I am so excited about my outfit today, and I'm so excited about the sponsor of today's video. Let me turn you around. I just got the most exciting package in the mail, you guys. If you guys have been following me or following me on Instagram and kind of been like watching what I've been wearing to school, I've been posting a lot of outfits like this. I will post them on the screen, and people keep asking me where I've been getting these bodysuits. These have been like known, I guess you could say, as the Skims dupe bodysuit because it's like that really buttery soft fabric and a quarter of the price, and they are by far my favorite. I've been purchasing them myself with my own money for the last year, and I have so many bodysuits in this fabric. It is actually insane. So when this brand reached out to me, and I'm gonna put the brand name on the screen because I know I'm gonna butcher it. I want to say it's Pumiey or Pumiey. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, so I'm just gonna put it on the screen. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of them by now since they're like going viral as the Skims dupe on Amazon. When they reached out to work with me, I was so excited and so flattered because I've already been purchasing their products on my own. I was like, heck yes, I would love to work with them and spread the word about their amazing clothing line, and I will have the Amazon storefront, of course, over in the description box below. But they sent me the most exciting package. They sent me a bunch of new beauties. Like I said, the creamiest, butteriest, softest, most stretchy, comfortable fabric you will ever come across. I also have a dress from this brand that I wore to our Cabo trip that I got so many questions on. It's known as like the Skims dress dupe. I will have that on the screen for you to see as well. It's so good. I now own like over 20 items from this company, and I don't plan on stopping. So if you guys want to get your hands on them, they sell out so fast because it's so good. Like I said, I'll have the brand link down below, but they sent me some goodies I want to show you, and I decided I'll just like show you all of them on. They sent me some bodysuits, some crop tops, long sleeve, short sleeved, tank top, and they're all amazing, especially this blue color for like summertime. So good. Like I said, I am just so in love with this brand. You just really can't beat the material. They have bodysuits and shapewear. The material is specialized fabric made with 80% polyamide and 20% elastane, which is why it feels so buttery soft. It's still super supportive. It's so versatile, easy to style in multiple ways. I wear it out, I wear it to school, I wear it to work. It goes well with jeans, shorts, joggers, skirts. It doesn't matter. It looks good with everything. They have 10 colors in the mock neck tank bodysuit, which you see here on the screen. I love it so much, and I also love their V-neck short sleeve bodysuits, which also come in different colors. Their shapewear will lift and smooth, and they're adjustable, so I'm definitely going to be ordering some of their shapewear. Like I said, I will have this brand linked down below if you guys are interested, and click the link in the description box below to shop. Okay, I think this is what I'm going to wear today. I love this like high neck short sleeve bodysuit. I don't know why, I think that is just like my favorite style right now. And by the way, it is like so thick. It feels like it's like double or triple lined, so it's just very supportive, like sucks you in. It's just so comfy. And then I'm just gonna wear some of these little high-waisted flowy pants today. Okay, let's dive into the Q&A. All right, so if you missed my last video or my announcement, or if you don't follow me on Instagram, you wouldn't have saw that I am going back to the classroom. A few of you were surprised, but a lot of you were like, yeah, I saw this coming. I mean, I really only lasted a few months out of the classroom before I started subbing, so I had a gut feeling that I would find my way back. I just didn't know when or how or what I would teach, but never did I think I'd be teaching kindergarten. But you guys, I'm actually so excited. Like, I thought, whenever I was interviewing for it, I thought I'd be like so nervous if they offered me the kindergarten position, but I don't know, it just feels kind of meant to be, and no, I just am so excited to be a kindergarten teacher. By the way, I am going in with a mixture of Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. It's a little light for me, so I'm mixing it with the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation, and this one's just a little bit darker. So the first question that I got a lot was, how are you feeling about going back? I am feeling just like all of the emotions. I'm mainly excited, but obviously I have some nerves in there too, a little anxiety about it, just because it's been over a year, and obviously I know I left the classroom, or I took a break from the classroom for a reason, so don't think those reasons don't still matter to me, and I haven't forgotten why I left the classroom in the first place. So I'm definitely nervous about that, but I will say I feel like I'm going back to teaching with a totally different mindset than I started. I started teaching whenever I was young, straight out of college, a little naive about the career, thinking that every day was just going to be sunshine and roses and fun lesson plans and small groups and read alouds and just like hanging out with kids all day. And I have just learned so much about the profession of teaching, myself as a teacher, myself as a person. I feel like I've gone through a lot since I started teaching in and out of the classroom, and I just have a different perspective of it. I feel like I know what to expect now to an extent, and I just feel a little bit more prepared for it, and I feel like I can manage the stress of it a little bit better now, because it is a stressful job. It's a very hard job. I'm not going back into teaching with the same naive mindset that it's going to be all sunshine and roses. I know the hardships of it, but I also have seen the other side of not teaching and experiencing different careers, and I actually love what teaching has to offer and the career of teaching itself. There's so many amazing things about teaching, and I know it can be really hard to see the positives of teaching whenever you're like in the thick of dealing with classroom management and exhaustion and grading and lesson planning, and it's just like all piling up on you. But I have definitely realized that the grass is not always greener. Not every job or any job is perfect, and you really do just have to find the positives in whatever job that you have. And teaching actually has a lot of them. I also know that the great thing about teaching is that if you're not happy in a grade level, you can always switch, and I think that it'll be just a really fun challenge and experience teaching kindergarten. And if I don't like it, I don't have to teach it forever. I'm not stuck in a certain grade level. I can always move up the following year. So I think I'm just excited to try it out. I'm going in with Born This Way concealer. The next question was, what are you most excited about for kindergarten? I'm really excited just to like introduce them to school. I think it's so fun that kindergarten teachers literally just get to introduce school to these littles, and at that age they just think school is the most fun thing in the world. Most of them. I know there's gonna be a lot of tears, a lot of heartbreak over leaving mom and dad, but I feel like for the most part it's just such an exciting time, and I just can't wait to be that teacher. I feel like I remember my kindergarten teacher so well, and I just loved her, and I just can't wait to be there for them and show them that school is a fun place. And I feel like our classroom is just gonna be so fun and like warm and loving, and I just can't wait. I've also just really fallen in love with the younger grades ever since I've been subbing. Like, I've been subbing a lot in junior kindergarten, which is like pre-kindergarten 4 and 5 year olds, and I actually really love that age as well. They're just so sweet and loving and positive, and it just makes going to work every day so much more enjoyable. I just love to be around that energy all day. And I know that that age also comes with a lot of hardships, but guess what? So do the older grades. So I feel like every single grade level has its positives and negatives as well. So I'm choosing to focus on the positives about kindergarten. And yeah, I'm just really excited to introduce them to school and just have so much fun with them. So I also received a lot of questions about my current job and why I'm leaving it, because I know a lot of you guys thought that I was staying in my current job, and that was always kind of the hope going into it, because I do love the school that I'm at. I love my current job, like my position that I have. And if you're new here, right now I'm a permanent substitute at a private school, and I got this position back in January. I started subbing just in and out of schools, and I got offered a full-time subbing position, which just means basically I'm there full-time Monday through Friday. I have my own room and everything, and I just go where they need me whenever teachers are out, which is usually every single day. There's at least one, sometimes multiple, and I'll cover for all of them. And I really, really love it. It's actually been the most fun job, and I think what made me kind of like fall back in love with being in school and in the classroom again. By the way, I'm going in with the Laura Mercier setting powder, and I really wasn't sure what would come of it whenever I got hired. I wasn't sure if I would stay as a permanent sub or if they would have any openings, and at that time I wasn't 100% set on returning to the classrooms. I wasn't sure I was going to do that either, but I just knew I really loved the school. So I know I mentioned a couple times I was probably going to stay there. They did inform me a couple months ago that the position that they hired me for was just like a last minute add-on in January when they realized they just needed an extra permanent sub, but they will no longer be having a permanent sub next school year. So since they would no longer be hiring for my position, I knew I had to find a job elsewhere. I did not automatically know I wanted to go search schools for classroom teacher positions, but through applying for multiple positions in the education realm, I started applying for teaching positions, and the school that I got offered a position at, actually, I subbed at last year. So they reached out to me because they had some openings and they remembered me, and they asked me if I wanted to interview for them. So kind of nice that I've already subbed at this school and I know it pretty well. What were some of the pros and cons of taking the time away from teaching? I think the biggest pro for me was something I already mentioned, and that's that I was able to just gain a lot of perspective. Working from home and taking time off wasn't as glamorous as I thought it would be, and honestly, I think it's just not for me. I think it is really glamorous for a lot of people. Like, I think I could have just done it differently, but for me, I like overworked myself and stressed myself out, and I had so much just anxiety about being my own boss, and like I was just working like overtime. It just wasn't for me. I guess just like having that self-management. I really craved like going somewhere every day and being in a routine, being around other people. I miss being around kids. I'm just going in with a little cheek tint. This is the Eco Lips cheek tint in pink. So yeah, I think that I would have enjoyed it more maybe if I was in a different phase of my life, but I feel like I'm just so young. I just wasn't ready to just be home all day every day. I really wanted somewhere to be, something to do, and just more of a purpose. But along with being home and missing not just teaching, but missing having a job and a career and something to work towards and somewhere to be every day, something to wake up for, I gained a lot of perspective and saw that although during the school year we're all like wishing that we could stay home every day and didn't have to go to work, I saw that the grass isn't always greener, and that there is something special about having somewhere to go every day and having kids to be around and making an impact every day and having people to socialize with in the building. There's just a lot of positives to that. But yeah, I feel like it made me see the positives in teaching and going to work every day. Obviously, the cons are that I took a year off from teaching, so it is definitely hard to get back into something whenever you take time away from it. But luckily, I did start subbing back in October, I think, and so that has given me a lot more confidence going back into having my own classroom, because I have been subbing for the past like 6 months. All right, so I did mention that my school was a charter school. So a lot of you guys were asking what's the difference between charter and public and private, and I know it is really confusing actually. And I've had to do like my own research on this, but basically charter schools are publicly funded, so they are separate from the public school districts in the area, which are government funded, and so charter schools are publicly funded, so the community funds them. And this particular charter school has multiple buildings. It has an early childhood building, which is what I'll be in, which is preschool through first grade. And then it has an elementary building, which is second grade through fifth, and then a middle school building, which is 6th through 8th. And they all operate separately. They all have separate principals and assistant principals and everything. I think the biggest difference between charter schools is that since they are ran and like funded by the community, they don't operate under such like strict regulations that public schools do since they're government funded. So there comes a lot of differences with how they're ran and what teachers teach, the curriculum, stuff like that. But honestly, I'm still learning, so I'll let you guys know as I teach in a charter school kind of like what those differences are that I notice. By the way, just topping off that cream blush with a little bit of powder blush. This is the NARS Orgasm Blush. I find this just like helps it stick throughout the day better. But the biggest difference is that charter schools, a lot of people think charter schools and private schools are the same. They're not. Private schools have a really high tuition. They have a really strict acceptance process for kids to get in. They don't just accept anybody. Whereas charter schools, any child is free to go there. It's free. Any child can go there. So you have children of all demographics there, and so it's more like a public school in that sense. So I'm going in with a little bit of bronzer. This is just the e.l.f. bronzer in Sunkissed. How did you determine what school environment was best for you? So that was one of the best things about being able to sub for the last like 6 months, and prior to accepting the full-time position, I subbed all over at a bunch of different schools in the St. Louis area, and so I got to know a bunch of different schools, which is really what I wanted before I ever went back into teaching. I didn't want to just accept any teaching job at any school. I really wanted to know that it was the right school for me before accepting. So what I've learned is that every school is so different. Environments are different, the vibes are different, the administration is different, how it's run. The children are pretty much the same. Kids are kids no matter where you go, whether you're in a private school, a charter school, a public school, if you're in a high class or low class demographic, it really does not matter. Kids are kids. And with that comes a lot of responsibility, a lot of exhaustion taking care of a classroom full of kids. But that's also given me the perspective. I always wondered, well, what if I taught at this type of school or this type of school? Would I enjoy teaching more there? Would the kids be easier there or less of a headache? Or, you know, you have all these thoughts as a teacher because there are so many different types of schools out there. But I feel like kids are pretty much kids no matter where I've been, which has actually been a really like eye-opening and positive experience, because now I feel like I'm not always wondering like, well, like what if I like move schools and the kids are different here or whatever. Kids are kids no matter where you go, but there's a lot of positives with that. I love kids and I love being around them, the good and the bad. And I feel like now I'm just a lot more experienced and ready to go in and accept the kids for how they are. Teaching is tough because you have so many children that have so many needs, so many big emotions throughout every single day, and there's so many of them that need it from you. So I think I just feel a lot more equipped to handle that now. As far as the school environment, I think it's so important to find an environment that you feel like safe and welcomed in. I think there's definitely a difference in environments as far as adults go. I've been in school environments as a sub where I felt like they did not care about me as a person at all just because I was a sub. Like I was just there to help them out and then get out, and you can tell that immediately. I've also been in schools where they just like really treat the subs so well and appreciate them, which we should appreciate all subs because we really need them and it's a tough job. And I feel like you just know if they're treating the subs that well, that's a really good sign that they'll treat the employees well. And also the environment amongst the teachers, you want a positive environment, not a like cliquey environment or like drama filled environment, which is easy to come across in schools, I found. I just really wanted an environment that was just like positive and we're all there for one purpose, to teach and just try to enjoy our jobs. I've also been around a lot of teachers that just like complain all day, every day. And that's also hard to be around because you're also going through hardships. And I love a good vent sesh, don't get me wrong. I love to like vent with my fellow teachers, but there's a difference between like venting and talking about your feelings and just like being negative all day, every day. So definitely you don't want like a negative environment. But I think it's all very personal too. I feel like whatever your personality type is, you need to find a school environment that fits your personality type and that you feel welcome in and happy in, and have people that you can get along with and administration that you can go to for advice and feel comfortable going to with any problems or concerns or feelings that you have as well. When does the school year start for you? I'm pretty sure I start August 23rd, but I know I have a lot of professional development in July. So pretty much the month of July is when I'll be starting. I'll find out who my co-teacher is, which by the way, I feel like I haven't mentioned that on YouTube yet. I will have a co-teacher, which is really amazing as well. This charter school specifically, every grade level in the early childhood building has a co-teacher. So there's 2 teachers to a classroom, and I know I was getting some questions about what a co-teacher is. Basically, it is completely equal amongst both teachers. It's just 2 full-time classroom teachers in the classroom every day. Not one is the assistant or the para. They are both full-time teachers, which is amazing. The private school that I'm in right now actually has 2 teachers in every single classroom, and the JK room has 3 teachers, and it's just a game changer. And I really think at least the younger grade levels should always have more than 1 teacher in the room, because it's a lot for 1 teacher to handle, but also it's so beneficial for the kids to have 2 teachers. If 1 teacher is teaching whole group, the other teacher can be walking around their class and monitoring, making sure that everyone's listening, which is so beneficial obviously for the teacher that's teaching the lesson, but also if you're doing small groups, you can get to and see so many more students if you can split amongst 2 teachers. So I'm personally so excited. Obviously I don't know who my co-teacher is yet, but so excited to find out who it is. And I've met some of the teachers already, and they're all so amazing. And actually a lot of the kindergarten teachers, there's quite a few of them, since there's 2 in each room, and I think there's 3 or 4 kindergarten classrooms. They're all around my age, like in our mid to late 20s. So I'm really excited. We're actually all getting together for a little girls brunch next weekend, just to hang out and get to know each other better. So I'm really excited too, just to have like a group of solid girlfriends to teach with. I think that's going to be so fun. And obviously I'll take you guys along with me through that whole process of getting my classroom, and I think it'll be fun to like set up a classroom with another person as well. Someone asked if I have to get extra qualifications to teach kindergarten. Yes. So right now my certification is 1st grade through 6th grade. It's considered my elementary certification. So when I was interviewing for this position, they asked me if I'd be willing to get my early childhood certification, which I am willing to, and I've been thinking about for like the last few months anyway, since I've really been enjoying being in those early childhood classrooms. So I told them yes. So I'm going to be getting my certification in early childhood this summer, which I believe the early childhood certification is preschool through 1st grade. So I will be fully certified to teach kindergarten. Is the position close to you? Yes. Actually, that is one of the most exciting parts. This school is literally, you guys, a 4-minute drive from my house. The private school that I'm at right now is like 30 minutes away, and I'm always sitting in traffic on like a major highway every morning and afternoon. And the school that I'll be teaching at next year is right up the street from me. Like I could literally drive to it, and no major highways. It's just like up one street. It's so amazing. Will you be vlogging classroom setup? Yes, I will try to vlog it as much as I can. Obviously I will have a co-teacher, so I'll have to talk to her about that, but I would love to just like vlog as much as that like beginning of the year stuff that I can. How are you going to prevent teacher burnout this time around? I think for me, it's just taking it one day at a time. And like I said, I am going into it with a little different perspective, a little bit more awareness. And I just really want to remember how grateful I am for having teaching as my career, because like I said, there are so many positives to it. I'm going to try to keep schoolwork at school. That worked pretty well for me the last couple years, so I'm going to continue to try to do that. That way, when I'm home and I'm like checked out. Of course, take breaks when you need it, ask for help. I'm excited to have a co-teacher. I think that will help with my burnout a lot as well, having someone else in there that I can be with every day, bounce ideas off of, talk to, plan with, share responsibilities. So I know it's still going to be a hard job. I know that there's still going to be exhausting days. I'm not oblivious to that, but I am going to it with a different perspective and a different mindset, and hoping that it'll be a more positive experience this time around. Because you have a co-teacher, is the class size any larger than normal? No. So the class sizes are actually going to be a little bit smaller. They're going to be around like 20 to 22, which is amazing. It's not just like, oh, there's 2 teachers, we're going to pack even more kids in there, because that would just defeat the purpose of having 2 teachers. So usually like max class size is like 22 at this school. How many years have you been teaching? So technically 2.5 years, because my first year of teaching was right out of college, and I accepted a position in January, so I taught January through May, and then I taught 2 full school years after that, but I would still consider this my 3rd year of teaching. Okay, you guys, I am going to stop the questions there. If you have any more questions, please feel free to comment down below or message me on Instagram. I'm an open book, and I'm excited to just like document this whole experience with you guys, making my way back to the classroom. I'm so excited. I hope you guys are excited. There's going to be a lot more classroom and teaching content coming on this channel, so make sure that you are subscribed. I hope you enjoyed this little get ready with me quick before I head out to school. Of course, I'm running a little late since that makeup usually takes me 10 minutes and it took me like 25 today, but that's okay. I woke up earlier to allow myself some more time. I'm about to head out the door. I'm gonna go get some Starbucks before I drive to school. We only have 2 weeks left of school before summer break, and then before I start becoming a kindergarten teacher, I am going to allow myself to take a break, at least for the month of June, and get excited about wedding stuff and my bachelorette party in June, and then of course the wedding in July. So I'm allowing myself to just go like full wedding mode over summer break and just be like so excited for that. So probably be a lot of wedding content as well this summer if you're interested in that. Also comment down below what sort of wedding videos you want to see. I thought about doing a wedding Q&A on here as well, since I really haven't talked much about the wedding on my YouTube channel. I do wedding Wednesdays every single Wednesday over on my Instagram, so follow me there if you're interested in that content, because I answer questions about the wedding every single week over there. But I can start doing more wedding content on YouTube as well. All right, I am going to head out the door. I hope you guys enjoyed this get ready with me. I hope I answered at least most of like the highly asked questions. I am so excited for this next chapter. I love and appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.